It's time for Thorns, Buds, and Roses with Preston Thorn on the early game. 107.5 The Game.
All right, Bill, we got Thorns, Buds, and Roses. We're trying to tee up North Florida. There might be a little rivalry brewing on the Buds. We'll come back to that. But here's the Thorns. After many years, long tradition, the Yankees have finally done the right thing. Bill, I would like to let you know that we are now both eligible. This is the only reason why we have not signed our contracts with the New York Yankees.
True, yeah.
And now we are both eligible to play for the New York Yankees because the Yankees have rescinded their infamous facial hair policy. The policy is long-standing. It's a relic of the past from Mr. Steinbrenner. I'm not sure how he's feeling about this. There's also been some other changes with Frank Sinatra being played. A lot of things are happening with the Yankees. But the facial hair policy has been rescinded. And I, for one, am excited because, yes, I do have a beard. But also because the year 2002, Bill, when Lou Holtz decided that we needed to have a facial hair policy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And all of us had to have no facial hair below the top lip. 19-year-olds walking around with very scraggly mustaches. It was a very tough time. No hair below the facial, no hair below the lip. You had to have a clean cut. They made everybody take their braids off. And if you want to point to the demise of that period of USC football, it was that.
Really?
It was the facial hair policy.
Okay.
You ever seen somebody walk onto a plane for a visiting road game and get turned away because they had too much facial hair? I have. It happened. The facial hair policy has to go.
Was that strictly for all players, or was there a level where certain players could wander?
No, he was pretty hardcore on it. It was pretty hardcore on it. And so we looked like clowns and we played like clowns because of the facial hair policy. We have to have these policies in place for certain places, but even our military has exceptions. There are things that we can do with this. I understand it. This policy is done with. Maybe the Yankees might win a World Series now. Buds, 56-0, baseball, Natty.
You can't be 56-0 if you're not 8-0.
That's correct. We planted the seed last week. The seed is firmly maybe the roots are taking hold. But not only that, did we plant one on the baseball field, but apparently we planted one on the softball field too. I don't know if either one is going to take, but these seeds are germinating. Both teams undefeated. Congratulations to them. And last but not least, Bill, I have one rose. Now, you get to decide. Are we giving this one rose to Lamont Paris, or are we giving this one rose to Jordan Butler? Who receives our one rose?
Jordan Butler. Jordan Butler.
After going a whopping 0-32, Jordan Butler, you, sir, you get your first SEC victory.
Yeah.
Here is your rose for winning after a struggle period of time in the SEC. Jordan Butler, you receive the singular rose for your victory. Congratulations, sir. Bill, those are Thorns, Buds, and Roses.
Yeah.
Rose, not roses, rose.
Singular.
Thorns, Buds, and Rose.
Good for Jordan Butler. Really good for him, man. Like, you joke about it, we joke about it, but you really have to wonder if people in the locker room were, like, looking over at him, like, before they had to leave for certain games, if they were going on road trips, and like, you sure you want
Honestly, that man hasn't celebrated a victory in a long time, and an SEC victory in a very long time.
No, and in his college career, now that you say that out loud, let's just go back for a second and look very quickly, because I know people have played on some bad teams. I get it. That happens. But I got to go back and look and see what the Missouri actual record was last year. I know they were 0-18 regular season, 0-19 when you toss in the conference tournament. But Missouri last year, Preston Thorn, 8-24 overall. So when you say not celebrating a victory, yeah, he didn't celebrate many. This needs to be the turning for him.
This one's for you. Now, going back to my Thorn, let me state this very clearly also. I do not like the facial hair policy. I feel like we can move forward. This country we have issues with facial hair, but listen, people in high places have facial hair now, so it's okay. But let me state this very, very clearly. Aaron Judge gets paid $360 million. And if I was getting paid $360 million, I too would have a clean-shaven face. I just want to make sure I'm very, very clear about that. Even if I wasn't Aaron Judge, let's say I was Giancarlo Stanton, who's getting paid $325 million. I think I could do it. Let's just say if I was the lowest paid player on the team, Luke Weaver, $4.5 million, I'd figure out. I'd find a way.
It's only during the season.
It's only during the season. But do you remember, this is going way back, but you remember when Johnny Damon went from the Red Sox, who were a bunch of unruly, unkept characters, and he had to shave, and it was like, ugh, who's that guy? I think he lost all his baseball powers, too.
Now, I can't remember which player it was that came out, and basically because it's labeled, this occurred on Friday, it's labeled as a well-groomed beard.
Yeah, see, that's...
So what do we define? Because I think one player said, well, what is well-groomed? We're not trying to... And they actually referenced the Duck Dynasty family. What's like, well, those guys, their beards are probably pretty clean and well-groomed. They're just long.
There's some gray area there, and there's some toughness on that. This is where you don't push this, right? You got the facial hair policy. Don't be the idiot who ruins it for everybody. You want to wear your beard, wear it neat. It's a tough spot.
What you got on this, Jennifer?
I don't know. I mean, to me, the facial hair is okay if you are clean shaven. I know that sometimes that can get a little challenging, or some people might, because things can collect in the beard. So I mean, you need to keep it well kept, well groomed. Then I don't really have a problem with it. But yeah, if you start looking really unkempt and kind of like, blah,
then we gotta have a conversation about it.
I mean, the ZZ Top kind of thing, yeah, that could probably go.